John Muller writing, Man City Brighton Wednesday with zero competitive stakes. It's the highest form of soccer, just pure aesthetics for the hell of it. What a game it was, Adrian.
Yeah, I thought it was fantastic. It was two exceptionally well coached teams going for it, really, in a bit of a dead rubber. But we saw a lot of quality football, a lot of nice stuff to look at. Not least the goal from Enciso,
Wow.
who's a teenager. It's
He's
amazing,
19,
isn't it?
yeah.
I mean, he's from the Paraguayan league. What a scouting network Brighton have got. I mean, that is amazing, isn't it? You've plucked someone out of the Paraguayan league who's basically 17, 18, and within a year, he's ripping it up in the Premier League. He's scoring a worldie against the champions. It's extraordinary. I think that was one of the goals of the season.
When he lined that shot up, what would be going through his head? Is it the classic, I'm 19, so I literally don't care. I will have a pop at anything.
I don't think he would have cared. Yeah, when you're 19, you're absolutely fearless. You don't think about anything.
But it was magnificent. I mean,
yeah. What I thought
should have been thinking about XG.
What was amazing about it was that it wasn't a curler. Normally, from that sort of distance, you would expect it to have a lot of curl on it. But
it had a bit.
No, it was more. He
more driven, wasn't it?
It was like a sort of knuckleball.
Yeah.
The ball doesn't. It's one of those where you hit the ball and just stun it, and it kind of wobbles.
It's kind of like
and
hitting
it doesn't spin.
a beach plastic footballer.
That's exactly what it was. That's exactly what it was.
But
But I mean, you
against the
can't.
Seagulls,
They were
which
at
was quite
Brighton,
nice,
so
for the Seagulls.
yeah.
You can't get more top bins than that, can you? It was extraordinary, and a great way for them to round off what's been a fantastic campaign for them. I mean,
the stats were kind of remarkable. They'd had more shots against Man City in the opening 45 minutes than any other side in any competition has this season. 20 overall. That's the third most anyone has ever had against any Pep Guardiola side. Against that, Man City had just won the title, so didn't have the same.
I don't buy into that, though.
Oh.
I think Manchester City were trying here. I think that we shouldn't take anything away from that stat. I think Brighton can be a handful for anyone under Roberto De Zerbi. A lot was said about Pep Guardiola sort of killing De Zerbi with kindness ahead of the game, over bigging him up. I think he meant it. And from my end, looking at it, as a total neutral, I think that De Zerbi is an elite head coach. I think he is the real deal.
What do you like most about him?
Everything, but in possession, his players could not be more comfortable. They could not be more comfortable. You're seeing the goalkeeper rolling his studs over the ball, saying, "Come on, then, come and get me." And it's a game of cat and mouse every time they play out from the back. They really don't care about giving the ball away. They're just laid back and believe in themselves in the way that they can play through anybody. But what I also love about them is the way they smother teams, and their press, I think, is as aggressive as anything I've seen. Basically, they lay traps, they wait, and then their central midfielders just sprint as fast as they can at the last minute to apply pressure, and it freaks teams out. And the numbers are incredible. In terms of Arsenal, because obviously I cover cover all of Arsenal's games, the two matches where they produced the fewest number of successful passes were Brighton away and Brighton home. That's not a coincidence. They can smother any team, and it wouldn't surprise me if that was the same for Manchester City.
Yeah, I mean, if you judge things on like open play XG in the Premier League this season, City have got the most on just over 57, and Brighton a second on 55. We could feasibly catch them up on the last day of the season. And
wow,
I mean, I don't think it's outlandish. Tom might agree or disagree, but to say that they're probably the best two teams in the continent right now.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of like the quality of their football, are probably the two most exciting teams in the Premier League. And it as enjoyable as last night's game was, it's a shame there wasn't more riding on it. I'd love to see how Guardiola would approach a high stakes game against Brighton, because their setup is so unique, and as Adrian was saying, is so bold and so risky, which makes them such a thrilling watch. And looks like Moises Caicedo will leave as well. I think for the Premier League, and particularly with this European campaign to prepare for, it would be great if they could hang on to De Zerbi for at least another season, because you would have thought that almost every big European club looking for a dynamic new coach will have De Zerbi on their list.
Hello there. If you've enjoyed this video, why not subscribe to this channel? The Totally Football Show podcast is available 3 times a week, bringing you all the football news you could reasonably be expected to care about. We've got views, we've got stats, we've got analysis, we've got some of the best football writers around, and the whole thing is absolutely free. So have a listen on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or all the usual places by clicking on the link below.